Good evening, my good tenor. Let's talk about the Panzer Vulpaphyla, who I often refer to as Smeeta's cousin. This is a very important companion that I would highly recommend getting if you are looking to do higher level content in Warframe. Now, why, you may ask? Well, quite frankly, this thing just never ever dies. It constantly respawns, so you can maintain your buffs that you get from companions, and especially when you are running Equilibrium, it is so important to have a companion, whether it's a Panzer or a Smeeta. Let's get into the video. Firstly, how to get a Panzer. Well, it's a bit tricky because you need to get a weakened Panzer Vulpaphyla. It doesn't work by you just hunting one and capturing it. Now, the way to do this is it needs to be weakened by enemies, not you. As you're going around in the Cambion Drift, there are random times where random enemies will take down random spawns of animals, in which you can luckily find a weakened Panzer Vulpaphyla, and that's your work done, all easy. Now, however, if you're wanting to farm these, there are 3 ways in which you can do this. The main way is Ivara Sleep Arrow. The way you go about this is as follows. You go to the first point, search for the lure site. You first want to aggro some enemies along the way so you can bring them towards the site. Then you want to stay invisible and drop your Vulpaphyla pheromone gland, which you can get from Sun in the necklace for 150 standing. Throw down the pheromone gland to call the Vulpaphyla. While you're invisible, don't worry if the enemies hit you, you'll be fine. Then wait for it to spawn. Then what you want to do is wait for the enemies to weaken the Panzer, and then you can collect it. Alternatively, you can trank the Panzer and then wait for the enemies to come hit you when you are standing on top of the Vulpaphyla, so it changes its status to weakened, and then you can grab it. You can do this with Baruch Lull as well and Equinox Sleep. That works too. I don't have the builds, but you can pretty much just build range and duration. It's actually fairly simple when you get the hang of it. Let's talk about the parts to make it. So when you make a Vulpaphyla, you need a mutagen and an antigen, and you get both of these parts from Sun. I use the Zara mutagen and the Pelagian antigen. Now that you have your parts needed to create your Panzer, you head on over to Sun and you go to the Vulpaphyla revivification, select your Vulpaphyla and mutagen and antigen, and then you build. Now all you need to do is level that Panzer, go and guild it, and then for the free polarity slot, I would suggest using Madurai or Naramon, as it will be a free polarity slot for the build we are going to run. And that leads us to the build. This is pretty much a 1 to 2 former setup we run. Synth Deconstruct, which has a chance for enemies to drop a health orb on kill. Then Primed Pack Leader. This is a pretty important mod. Ignore my unmaxed mods, I've been pretty lazy, but Prime Pack Leader is really good to keep your Panzer alive, so it's pretty important for that lifesteal. Then we run Tech Enhance for that extra duration. Viral Quills, this is a really nice primer for certain builds, and overall just a great quality of life aspect from the Panzer. As it states, launches 6 quills applying viral stacks. This spreads to multiple enemies, so it's really important to have, and it just lets you do extra damage. We run Synth Fiber. Now this is a super important mod if you are running Equilibrium. Now, why, you may ask? Well, basically this mod allows you to be able to pick up health orbs even when at full HP. So when you pair this with Equilibrium, you're consistently gaining energy. Remember, Equilibrium swaps the drop, so health orbs give energy and energy orbs give health. This is very important if you are running Equilibrium. Tech Assault, so your Panzer has a 60% chance to ignore lethal damage and can be immune for 4 seconds. Martyr Symbiosis, which you can get from Sun, and then Panzer Devolution. Now this is what makes the Panzer undying. It will literally never die. Once it does die, it goes into a weird form above your head, shooting quills out, applying viral, and then respawns after 30 seconds. We then run Primed Animal Instinct. This is a must-have for all builds. It's just a brilliant quality of life mod. It's insane. It's so useful. And then we run Fetch. Fetch is super important for that vacuum effect and pulling in ammo and health orbs and loot, etc. Reasons why to get Panzer? Well, it doesn't die, number 1. Number 2, it applies viral effects to enemies. Number 3, it's pretty tanky. Number 4, it is the go-to if you're wanting to do level cap and wanting that pet that just doesn't die as often. You obviously can go for a Smeeta for level cap, but you have to be more careful. Whereas with this one, you literally just forget about it. It does its own thing. It dies, it respawns, it dies, it respawns. It grabs loot, it gives you extra energy. It's just brilliant, while you have fun killing everything. And that's a quick video on the Panzer Vulpaphyla, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you all in the next one.